Right now on Daybreak, new details this morning about a deadly shooting in Tallahassee. We've got more details on the victim.
Plus, as millions try to recover from Irma, rural parts of the Sunshine State may have a harder time. We'll head to Taylor County to look at conditions there.
And back in session, thousands of students heading back to the classrooms today across the Big Bend after classes were canceled because of Irma.
Morning, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. It is a Thursday morning. I'm Mark Myers.
And I'm Venice Toussaint. Let's take a look outside right now. Rob is standing by with the check of your forecast. What can people expect this morning, Rob, as they go outside?
Well, good morning, everybody. Yeah, we have a little fog to deal with this morning, and maybe we find a couple isolated sprinkles. Some of this green that we're seeing in our eastern areas, that's just some of that low-level moisture what's going to give us the fog. But as we take a look maybe a little out to the west, a couple of sprinkles will try to creep our way. Most of the southeast under the influence of this warmer and more muggy air, and you're going to feel that too. The last couple of days, a lot cooler in the morning. I don't think that's going to be the case for these next couple. It's going to start feeling maybe a little bit more summery out there over the mornings at least, but in the afternoons too, we're going to watch those temperatures come up. Blakely's the one spot that's still way back in the 60s at 63. We're at 72 for St. Mark's and 70 for Monticello and 72 for Thomasville and 70 for Moultrie. We're at 71 in Live Oak, so a little bit warmer, a little bit more humid, and spots like Moultrie, like Albany, visibility's down to just 1/4 mile, and we're likely going to find more spots that get some of that thicker fog. Now, Futurecast shows some shower chances today. Not all day kind of washouts, but I do think there'll be at least some scattered showers, and it's going to be a bit warmer with the highs closer to 90. Lots to break down with the full forecast, guys. We'll do it in just a bit.
All right, thanks for that, Rob. We are following some breaking news this morning. A shooting reported in Tallahassee.
That's right. Police are reporting this near FAMU at the intersection of Gamble and Perry Streets. Happened around 2:45 this morning. The victim was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. There's no word on if that is a student. If you have any information, please contact Tallahassee Police.
And we also have an update on an early morning shooting yesterday. Police releasing details about the victim shot near the corner of West Tennessee Street and Ocala Road at the Pita Pit restaurant Wednesday morning just after 2 o'clock.
Well, our Charlene Crispo has been following this story from the very beginning. Charlene, what can you tell us today?
Well, guys, police have identified the victim as 21-year-old Andrew Glover III. Police found him at the scene yesterday. He was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Now, I arrived on the scene just a few hours after police were called there. The entire Pita Pit parking lot was blocked off with crime scene tape, and a ton of police cruisers were blocking the entrance to Pita Pit and the Waffle House there. Now, police could not tell me how many shots were fired or if Glover was targeted, citing an ongoing investigation, but they are ruling his death a homicide. I spoke with one of Glover's best friends who was in disbelief that he's gone.
Awesome guy. I mean, he'll do anything for anybody. I mean, he was always there for me. I mean, honestly, I love him. I mean, it's just sad.
I also spoke to the manager at the Pita Pit who said the employees locked up the store right before the shooting happened. They usually close at 3 a.m. and kind of locked up a little earlier. Now, right now, there is no suspect in custody, but police say they do not believe there is any threat to the community. And guys, if anyone has any information, you're asked to call TPD or Crime Stoppers.
All right, thank you, Charlene.
New details on a child neglect case in Hamilton County. Deputies say this man, Angelo Mitchell, admitted to having a few drinks the night his 19-month-old daughter went missing during Irma. Deputies also say the little girl has now been released from the hospital and is back at home in Jasper. The toddler was first reported missing Sunday night and ultimately found by a passerby the next morning crying and bruised up in some bushes near her home. Mitchell now faces child neglect charges.
Speaking of Irma, it's been a week since the storm ripped through the Caribbean. St. John and the U.S. Virgin Islands seeing some of the worst damage. The mass destruction leaving at least 70% of residents there without a home. Construction crews and relief organizations are already providing aid. The U.S. Navy is also there helping with recovery efforts. Meanwhile, a similar scene of destruction in the Florida Keys. 90% of the homes suffering damage. Estimated that 1 out of 4 homes in the Keys was destroyed. Residents there also receiving aid. Dozens of people waiting in lines, hoping to receive basic necessities like food and water. Many saying they're glad for the help.
It's running out. and we didn't know if we were going to get any in. They were running out the shelters. We tried to get some last night. We couldn't get any. So thank God we finally got something. We need to get help down here.
So far, officials say they've handed out 3,000 cases of water and nearly 3 tons of food.
A major concern growing this morning for rural communities in Florida. Many say they are facing unique challenges recovering from Irma. One major issue, they say, is finding gas. They want to make sure their concerns aren't overshadowed by larger urban areas. Jake Stofan tells us even counties that did not get the brunt of the storm are still dealing with lots of problems.
Taylor County was spared the worst of Hurricane Irma's wrath. Still, supplies are running thin. James Jolly has spent his life in Taylor County. He says it's been 4 days since he's been able to find gas.
This first time I came back to town and found gas.
Throughout the county, many gas stations are still dry. The same goes for supplies at grocery stores.
Meat is what's really out, anything cold.
Steve Spradley, director of the Taylor County EOC, says evacuees fleeing from the storm and then returning have played a big role in depleting resources.
We're starting to recover. We do have gasoline today, and just waiting for our grocery stores shelves to be stocked, and so we can try to get back to more normal.
Power is also coming back more slowly in rural counties. Half of Taylor County is still without electricity.
The Florida Retail Federation says supplies are on the way, but rural counties may have to wait longer than heavily populated areas to see a return of normal supplies.
Our goal is to get gas to as many people as possible. That includes the urban counties, includes the rural counties. Right now, you're talking about an unprecedented demand on fuel in Florida. You had 6 million people forced to evacuate, which is basically almost a third of the state. Now those 6 million people are on their way back in. So you're talking about having to have gas on I-10, I-75, I-95, hundreds and hundreds of miles that people need, not to mention food and water in these stores.
Emergency managers in Taylor County say they understand the causes of the delays, but they want to make sure rural counties aren't forgotten as response efforts continue throughout the state. Jake Stofan, WCTV Eyewitness News, Tallahassee.
Debris cleanup is underway from Irma in Tallahassee. Crews and trucks starting to pick up in the areas of Ox Bottom, Manor, Summerbrook, and Moore Pond. Solid waste pickup also starting for the city. If you're in the county, pickup for you starts on Monday, so you can start putting debris out by the curb. City officials say you want to place it between your property and the road.
Please don't put the debris in bags, like yard bags and things. Just leave it in piles. Our contractor will come by with large claw trucks and things, which will seem familiar from last year's debris cleanup, and they'll pick it up and put it in the back of their dump trucks and move it out from there.
Officials also say the cleanup from Irma should move a little more quickly than it did during Hermine last year.
And crews aren't the only ones hard at work. Leon County school employees also working hard to get ready for students' return today. 10 Leon County schools served as shelters during Irma, housing thousands of people and their pets.
Not only I realize we provide education for 34,000 students, but we also provide emergency sanctuary to thousands in our community and into other parts of the state.
Superintendent Rocky Hanna says Irma did not damage any of the schools. Students in Gadsden and Wakulla counties are also returning to school today.
Well, no word on any damages at universities and colleges in Tallahassee, but FAMU, FSU, and TCC will be closed for the rest of the week. Classes will resume on Monday. A special treat for those helping with Irma relief efforts in the capital city. Neighborhoods coming together, giving back to first responders and linemen out on the job. The Weiss family also helping out. Their 3 boys bringing granola bars, water, and peanut pretzels to show their appreciation.
They came all the way from a different city, and we just wanted to do something nice for them. We also wanted to thank them for the hard work they did.
Oh, how cute are those boys? One of the boys even getting a chance to see how crews operate firsthand. He says he definitely enjoyed it and he may consider the job as a career. Wow.
How about that?
That's cute.
That's
I
cool
love
to
that.
see that, yeah. I tell you what, pitching in there and thanking those crews. I guess a lot of those guys are going to be heading out soon to other areas that are even harder hit.
Yeah,
so.
they're heading, I think, to South Florida, some of them, to help out there. Yeah.
All right, Rob's standing by right now. And Rob, yesterday kind of a weird day, and we had some rain and clouds to start, and then sunshine, and then rained again later in the evening.
A couple of decent downpours yesterday afternoon, too. If we go to the radar picture now, we're not going to find a lot. We see plenty of the green, that low-level moisture that we see so often this time of the year, this time of the day. If we look out to the west, a couple little sprinkles coming through parts of Gulf and Bay counties. I don't expect a lot of rain this morning, but I do think we can find some showers developing from maybe the south and west, maybe even headed more towards our eastern areas today. I think that's where the best chances for the most showers will be, but nobody's going to have a washed out Thursday. Futurecast is going to show that there still will be some lingering clouds today, maybe not as stubborn as they were yesterday. Let's keep those shower chances up a little bit for our Thursday.